Hi friends, today we'll discuss locker management in banks. So how the lockers will be procured and these how the lockers rent will be decided and how these lockers will be allotted to the customers. So lockers is a add-on service to the customers, existing customers. So you want to become a customer, you want to open an account with the bank. It may be savings, current, FD, RD, loan. If you take a loan also, you'll become a bank customer. So once you become a customer, you have a lot of add-on services. So now banks, they are giving a locker facility. Then they are selling the mutual funds, insurance. So in this scenario, locker is a add-on facility provided by the bank to the customers. So these lockers will be purchased from the reputed manufacturers. All these lockers will be kept in a strong room with 100% secured so that customers will keep their valuables in the lockers. So what are the benefits? You have a secured uh, safe deposit lockers provide security to the customers' valuables. So they'll secure the customer valuables. Customers will keep their valuable documents or gold in lockers that will be secured. So lockers will be kept in vault and they'll take all the precautions, 24 bar 7 security, then CCTV, alarms, and highly secured building. They'll keep all the vault and lockers. So these benefits to the bank. So what are the sizes? As per my knowledge, with my I've seen few banks, small, medium, large, extra large. Maybe other sizes may be available in the different banks. So rent I have not mentioned because different banks, different areas, and different sizes, they have different rate structure. Normally, this rent or fee will be for the 1 year. One example I've taken from a particular bank. So in rural, small means 1,500 rupees per annum plus GST. In same rural, medium locker if you want 2,200 plus GST. If you want large, 5,000 plus GST. If you want extra large, 10,000 plus GST. So these are the locker rent per a year. This will be different from bank to bank, area to location, and size to size. So what is the locker caution deposit? Normally what they'll do, bankers, they'll take as a caution deposit. This caution deposit, they'll keep it in a fixed deposit receipt and that will be given to the customer only. Normally this amount will be for the 3 years rent. In previous example, rural, 10,000 rupees your annual rent for the extra large locker. So 30,000 they'll keep it in a fixed deposit receipt. These will be useful when a customer is not paying the rent or a customer is not operating the account, then customer is not operating the locker, then break open charges and all these can be collected from the caution deposit receipt. So normally who are the manufacturers for the lockers? A lot of companies are there. For example purpose, I can go address Steel Acura. And what about the due diligence and lockers? So how the customers will be when the customer goes to the bank, then he wants to open any account, proper customer due diligence will be completed and KYC document will be collected, one photo, address proof, identification. Same will be followed for the lockers. Sometimes what happens, customer comes for the locker but lockers are not available, then he'll give a request letter. So those request letters, they'll keep it in a waiting list. That detail should be available in the core banking system. As soon as new lockers are purchased or few lockers are surrendered, these lockers should be assigned as per the waiting list seniority. So whatever the agreement between bank and customer, this should be standard, board approved, and framed by the Indian Bank of Association. Same agreement should be used for the agreement purpose between customer and bank. So whatever the infrastructure they are, whatever the strong room lockers they are purchasing, there should be under the prescribed security norms of Bureau of Indian Standards. So all the lockers will be purchased as per the norms prescribed by the BIS. Locker operations. So when a locker is allotted to customer, so during the locker allocation itself, authorized person who has to authorize the locker, and it may be individual or it may be joint account with photos and with proper documents, it will be entered in the register. Every time customer comes to operate the locker, banker has to maintain these details in the system or register, the time of visit, check-in, check-out, when he has in and out. These details should be when this locker is opened and closed. These details should be obtained and signed by the customer also. So these movements should be verified by bank staff every time. One customer is going for locker operation, then he has to verify, then he has to send another customer for the locker operation, and every time he has to get the signature from the customer, and bank staff also should be signed in the record. What about the locker operations? So every time customer, so these locker can be given to individual, joint, companies. So authorized people when coming for the customer operation, so what they have to do every time then operate a customer, whenever they operate a locker, bank will send a SMS. So your locker is operated on these days, this time. So in case what happens, if unauthorized person is accessing your locker, then your you will get intimated immediately. You can approach the bank. This is my locker and I have not come for the authorization. Some unauthorized person is coming, so he can take action or directly can approach a branch. So every time you have to send a email to the customer registered mobile number, or email to registered email ID, SMS to registered mobile number for confirmation, like you have uh, operated the locker date and time, so that any authorized unauthorized access can be immediately identified to the customer. Internal controls. So what are the internal controls while operating the uh, lockers? If any customer has surrendered the locker, then what he has to do, that keys he has to keep it in a sealed cover, and duplicate keys also they have to keep it in a sealed cover. Then master key, whenever you operate a locker, you can observe. So you have 100 lockers, master key will be one that will be controlled by the bank staff. But individual customer will have a individual key for individual locker. So whenever you are opening a locker, so you will have your own key, and you will have a master key which was operated by the bank staff. So what happens, uh, whenever you want to operate a locker, you have to open with master key plus your individual key. So these master key should be joint custody, means two persons should be controlled, and you have to periodically verify how many surrender lockers are there, vacant lockers are there. These should be allotted to customers in the pending list, and you have to verify whether customers are properly recording their details. Everything you have to verify periodically. Internal controls. In internal controls also, other points are available. Okay, these whatever the register, locker register, these should be allotments. These should be audit trails are should be available. When this locker is allocated to X, then afterwards when it is allocated to Y, everything you have to bank staff has to verify, and these keys register should be maintained in core bank system also. And every time when customer operates the locker, bank employee has to go inside and he has to see whether locker is properly closed or not. If it is properly not closed, bank staff has to close the locker immediately. If he has forgotten the keys or he has not locked the locker, bank staff has to close the locker. Then bank staff has to inform the customer through call. You can through mobile, they can call, or they can send a email, or they can send a SMS to the registered mobile number or email ID only. And every day, end of the day, before closing the branch, bank staff has to verify whether any person is uh, still is in a strong room, or all the lockers are properly closed or not. Before closing the branch, he has to verify. Then nomination facility. How this nomination facility will be available to all your savings account, fixed deposit. Same way, nomination facility also available for the lockers also. If something happens to the customer, whatever the valuables available in the locker will be given to nominee. So nominee photo and relevant information should be uh, registered in proper register and as per the norms. And these details should be signed by two witness, means two-person should witness, like, okay, is the locker owner and is the nominee. So two witness signatures are required, and wherever required, photo, signature, thumb impression should be taken by the bank staff. And nomination facility and settlement of claims. In case of nomination is there, one is nomination, as long as customer is not expired or died, he can change his nomination, cancellation, modification, anything he can do. Every time when he gives a fresh nomination or modifies or cancellation of the nominee, bank has to give a acknowledgement receipt to the customer. Even though if he's not asking also, this is your locker number, this is the nominee details, present nominee details, and acknowledgement should be given to the customer, even though he is not demanded. Okay, close of locker items. So, in normal case, customer is transferred from one place to another place, or is not required with a locker. These lockers can be surrendered, and whatever the items are available in that locker, it will be given to the customer. So, and another scenario is customer has lost the keys, then break open, and whatever the cost incurred during the break open, that should be borne by the customer, and whatever the amount will be given to the customer, whatever the. So during these situations, you have to follow the uh, rules prescribed by the uh, bank board. And sometimes what happens, you may bank may receive enforcement agencies or court to seize the lockers. So in this situation, you have to seize the locker and you have to stop the locker operation, and these should be informed to the customers. We have received an order from the X court and we have seized your locker. So you want to operate your locker, you have to get a letter from the court. And closer items. If customer is not cooperating or not complying with the terms and conditions, you can close the locker and you can return the all the valuables to customer, and these points should be properly written in the agreement and which was provided by the board. So discharge of locker containing request of the customer. Okay, uh, one is like customer lost the keys and he request for the break open, and item should be given to the customer. Okay, so first what, whenever a customer lost the keys, immediately has to inform the bank branch, like, I lost the keys and this is my locker number. So whatever the charges for break open and fixing the new lock and giving the new keys, and all these details properly should be maintained. What is the original key as given, and when he is lost, and what is the new key given to the customer. And always you have to approach the authorized persons. For example, lockers are provided by the Godrej, then Godrej authorized person should come and do the all the activities after getting the proper written request from the customer. Discharge of locker content request of the customers. Yes. So whenever a customer requests, one is like in normal scenario, you can close and you can take out the items. Or when locker keys are lost, then break open and they can um, valuables can be given back to the customer. Wherever possible, please take the video and keep it for the future records. Recovery of contents of a locker of the bank by law enforcement. If you receive, bank receives any uh, uh, a letter from the court or any competent authority from SEBI or any authority. If you receive a letter, one is like you can seize the operations, or second will be like you open the if keys as given by the customer, you can open and you can hand over all the valuables to the authority. It may be court or it may be any person or enforcement directory, or you can break open and you can give it to the uh, authority. But during this process, you have to follow the policy terms and conditions, and you take a video and keep it for the future reference also. Recovery of the contents by the law and enforcement, yes. So one is seizing, then if customer gives the keys, then you can open. So as soon as you receive any letter from enforcement authority or court, so you have to inform the before siege, you have to inform the customer through email, SMS, a letter, or call. Like we got a letter from the authority to seize your deposit locker, so we are sieging. Then whenever bank, government or competent authority says to recover the valuable items, and with proper guidelines, policies, a locker should be opened with the two independent witnesses. Bank officer should be properly signed, and everything should be video recorded, so that it will be useful for the uh, future reference. And whatever the inventory and whatever the values are available, valuables are available in the court uh, locker, that should be recorded, and one copy should be given to the customer also. So non-payment of the locker, so non-payment of the locker also you can break open if 3 years continuously is not paying the rent. So then what you can do, you can break open the locker, and you settle the claim, and whatever the valuables received from the uh, locker, that can be given to the customer. If customer is not responding, then it will be given to the nominee or legal heirs or survivors also. In payment, non-payment of locker rent, so you can issue a letter to a customer, or you can intimate through SMS, email, still is not responding and letter is undelivered. Then you can give a notice in two newspaper. One is in English and another is in local newspaper. And even though if you are not traceable, then break open, and these valuables, whatever the inventory received from the locker, that should be given to the nominee or legal heirs, and proper record. You have to record entire process, then this will be used for your future evidence in case any court case happens in the future. Inoperative, for example, locker is not operating from the last few years. In this example, 7 years locker is not operating by the customer, then these can be you can send a notice, and through email, you can SMS, call, letter, everything you can do. And if you are not uh, getting the proper response, and with the proper policy, you can break open the lockers, and whatever the items are there, that you can put it in a sealed cover in uh, another branch or same branch. If any legal hires comes, then it can be given to the legal hires, or then as per the RBI policy, these can be prescribed as per the agreement. So liability of the bank, for example, okay, customer lost the valuables which are kept in the locker. Maybe due to the natural calamities like earthquake, flood, lightning, thunderstorm, without any without any bank negligence, what happens? So bank will not liable to pay any uh, charges or amount to the customer in case of natural calamities and without bank negligence. In case bank employees involved in the fraud, and they have taken the valuables from the locker, or due to banks negligence, if the theft, robbery, dacoity, anything happens, or collapse of the building, if customer loses the money, then 100 times of the yearly rent. For example, previous case, 10,000 rupees is yearly case, means 100 times of the 10,000 amount will be given to the customer only in case of bank negligence, and due to these things only, robbery, theft, or fraud by the bank employee only. Natural calamities, bank will not pay any penalty to the customer. Okay, risk. Yes, branch insurance policy will be there. That should be properly mentioned, and any loss happens, that can be given back to the customers. Insurance by the they'll do the insurance for the branch. They'll do the insurance for the customer. They'll do the insurance for the safe lockers. If we'll get a insurance claim because of some incident, that amount can be given to the customers. And whatever the charges, that should be mentioned in the bank website, and these charges should be displayed in the branches also. Whatever the terms and conditions, policies, everything should be mentioned, and a copy should be maintained in the uh, bank. Whatever the SOPs processes are used during the locker allotment, surrender, these should be as per the board approval. These should be available, and everything should be written on the agreement, and you have to take the customer signature. Okay, and these terms and conditions should be available in the website and in branches also. Thank you, friends. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel. Please share with your friends, and request you to comment